Our next health story should be of particular interest to our teen viewers who suffer from crippling glaucoma. For centuries, marijuana has been used as a self-prescribed remedy for the terminal disease known as being alive. But last week, the Supreme Court heard arguments as to whether state initiatives permitting the drug to be used medicinally violate federal law. It's a case that figures to settle once and for all the legality of medical marijuana and thereby affect the lives of no fewer than 0.0001% of American marijuana smokers. The federal government maintains, however, that marijuana, or as it's known on the street, funny pot cigarettes, is illegal, period, and has severely criticized prescribing the drug to those freewheeling, long-haired, hippie AIDS and cancer patients just trying to score a free high off Uncle Sam. Those people are sick. No, seriously, they're sick and they need help. Robert McGinnis of the Family Research Council has come out strongly against medical marijuana.
I don't deny that, sick people who have been using it for a long time feel better after using this because they get high. And when you get high, you feel better.
Robert McGinnis. Speaking out strongly and poorly against medical marijuana, which is a miracle. Now, the upcoming Supreme Court debate could even be a hotter button issue than Americans not sleeping enough. That's why it's the subject of tonight's Even Steven. You've just made me vomit in my own mouth.
What's the weather like up your own ass? Tonight's topic, should medical marijuana be legalized?
Yes.
No.
Yes! The medical marijuana initiatives in California and New Mexico were approved by the voters solely to help seriously ill patients for whom marijuana offers the only relief from pain. Who could deny an 80-year-old woman a moment of respite from her tortured existence? But I suppose there are a few sick individuals out there who get off on other people's suffering, Stephen.
Far out, Steve. Groovy point, man. You're blowing my mind. Face it, you and your Dr. Dopes are just hiding behind Grandma's oxygen tent. The real reason you're pushing pro-pot legislation is so you can suck on a tie stick and watch the walls begin to pulse and breathe. And now that you've duped a few misguided state legislatures, I'm sure we can all look forward to you coming down with a convenient case of glaucoma real soon.
This marijuana is medicine, Stephen. I'm pro-people, not pro-pot.
Oh, come on, Steve. You love ganja and the exhilarating rush of freedom and the heightened textural sensations it gives you. Whereas I wouldn't know where to start looking for a dime bag. I'm sure you've got great connections. So let me in on the dirty little secret, Steve. Where do you get your pot?
Stephen, just because I support medical marijuana, it's ludicrous to imply that I'm a dope fiend. That's like saying, because I support the repeal of the marriage tax penalty, that I'm into wife swapping.
Don't change the subject, Steve. You know exactly where I can get my hands on some really deep chronic, don't you?
Let's get back to my wife swapping metaphor.
Fine, let's.
What you're suggesting about my access to sweet Malaysian skunkweed is just as ridiculous as if I said, hey, Stephen Colbert, why don't you and your wife come over some night this week and we can exchange partners? Would that idea appeal to you?
I don't know, Steve. Would we be high?
I don't know. Would you bring the dope?
Steve, you're not listening to my argument. My argument is that if, for instance, I tried to buy pot, I couldn't get any, but I think you could get me some.
You're not listening, Stephen. You're in a fantasy world where I smoke pot and could get my hands on some very kind bud. But we would be wife swapping this Friday. Have I made myself clear?
Clear as crystal, Steve, but let me see if I can just recap your really twisted argument. You're saying that if we were to enter into some bizarre love quadrangle, you'd be supplying the weed.
Yes. Okay, that sounds perfect.
Great.
John, the last time on Slimming Down with Steve, I chose a personal trainer. But as you know, exercise alone just won't cut it. Today we're going to focus on nutrition. Join me as I visit a top New York City nutritionist. My name is Steve.
Slimming down with Steve, 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 slimming down
with me. Before a nutritionist like Miriam Papo can offer advice, she has to learn about the eating habits of her patient.
Just tell me if you've eaten these in the last week.
Okay.
Cheese,
Yes.
fried chicken,
Yes.
other fried foods,
Yes.
hot dogs,
Yes.
salami,
Yes.
snack chips,
Yes.
bacon,
Yes.
sausage,
Yes.
sweet roll,
What's...
sweet roll, like a Danish.
Yes.
What type of milk do you drink?
Buttermilk.
What type of oil do you use?
WD-40. Usually peanut oil.
When you have chicken, is it with the skin or without the skin?
Just the skin.
What am I doing wrong? It didn't take long for Miriam to observe that I needed more vegetables in my diet. So she offered to make me a healthy meal.
Look how beautifully green these are.
Green things. The supermarket was gonna be a lot of fun.
This is beef tongue. If you were to eat this, wouldn't your food essentially be tasting you?
We did have fun, but now it was off to the kitchen to make pasta primavera, which in Italian means no meat for Steve.
That looks good.
Yeah.
What makes pasta primavera such a healthy dish?
Because it's usually using all fresh vegetables.
Bam! Right? Like that chef.
Okay, great.
Finally, it was time to indulge.
Let's dig in.
Let's say grace first. All good gifts around us are sent from heaven above. And thank the Lord, oh thank the Lord for all his love. I really want to thank you, Lord. I want to thank you, Lord. Oh, thank you, Lord. Above. That's all right.
Steve Carell, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. First of all, thank you for allowing us to go on this emotional journey with
My
you.
pleasure.
Now, how is the new diet going for you?
Well, it's been tough, John, because I've had to find ways to incorporate vegetables into my nutritional regime.
I think you mean regimen, not regime. Regimen.
John, you do what you need to lose weight. I'll do what I need to do, okay? Now, take a look at this. You'll notice it says all vegetable.
Right.
Couple of scoops of this, I get all the vegetables I need.
I actually think it's shortening, vegetable shortening, so it doesn't.
It serves up just like ice cream. It's every reporter's dream to spend a day on the campaign trail with a front-running candidate. And that's exactly the opportunity we were afforded this day in New Hampshire on John McCain's Straight Talk Express. However, Dan Rather and the 60 Minutes crew were already on board, so we had to go on the overflow bus. Great. This is just great.
The Overflow Bus, repository for outcasts, misfits, and journalistic bottom feeders.
Bet they've got an omelet bar or something up there. You think Rather's up there talking policy with them? No, they're up there playing pinball, singing karaoke. Rather doesn't have to be on the overflow bus. Oh, I'm 60 minutes too. Be lucky if we even see him today. Don't throw it back. You just ate half of it. Threw it back. You know, we were asked to come. Like, oh yeah, well you're that bus.
Shut up back there.
Stick it up your ass.
The situation was intolerable. Something had to be done.
Exactly what am I looking at here?
Bus assignments for the 50-some members of the media.
Well, let's cut to the chase. Where are we?
47, 48, 49, and 50.
What do the circles mean?
Circles mean you're on the bus. So as you can see, no circle, no bus.
Why are you jerking me around like this? All I want to do is sit on the nice bus. Oh, screw it. Oh, God. I think so.
Covering the story at arm's length was getting me nowhere, and then it hit me. The best way to get to a presidential candidate's bus is through his wife.
This is your driver here.
This is our driver. He's
Steve
been
Carell.
with us from the beginning.
Now, this is a well-appointed driver.
He's wonderful.
I'd like you to take a look at the driver we have. Great, thanks very much, Ron. You see what I mean? Okay, now step aboard. Here we go into our secondary bus.
Take a whiff.
Yeah, take a whiff of that.
One whiff of the overflow bus, and Mrs. McCain was on my side.
And
Stick
actually,
with me. I'll get you on.
Really?
Come on, let's go.
Really?
Right now. Right now.
Not only was I finally on the bus, but I was going to get the chance to talk to Senator John McCain.
Right.
Sir, how are
now,
you?
Look, let me tell you, you are welcome on our bus at any time.
Let's do a lightning round.
Okay.
Your favorite book?
For Whom the Bell Tolls.
Favorite movie?
Viva Zapata.
Charlton Heston.
Marlon Brando.
Close enough. If I were a tree, I would be a...
If I were a tree, I would be a root. What does that mean?
Senator, how do you reconcile the fact that you were one of the most vocal critics of pork barrel politics, and yet, while you were chairman of the Commerce Committee, that committee set a record for unauthorized appropriations? I'm just kidding. I don't even know what that means.
Oh, they all laughed at my little question. But two things were abundantly clear.
Okay, all right, okay. We're gone.
It was the wrong question to ask, and I was going to be walking.
Steve Carell, ladies and gentlemen. Steve Carell. Steve, that was an interesting piece.
Thank you, Mr. Stewart.
It seemed like you had one shot to really ask a good, solid political question, and you froze up. You backed off.
Well, I was trying to explore the sights, the sounds, the smells of a political campaign.
But you were up there to get an interview with McCain and a
well,
one-on-one.
now Mrs. McCain was a gracious...
Mrs. McCain is not the story.
Did you see her?
Yeah.
She is intelligent, beautiful,
yes,
wonderful.
I understand, but it seems like you froze up with McCain. You had him right there, and.
Well, I was trying to.
Should we take you off the political beat? Is it too much for you to?
Steve Carell, ladies and gentlemen.
No.
Coming up, 4 minutes with Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
You are not talking. You're not tossing a commercial. Look at me. Look, Steven. Look. Look. Sit. What do we say?
Bad report.
do better.
Trying to survive in this fast-paced world is hard enough, but on the eve of the Y2K computer meltdown, people everywhere are nearing mass hysteria. But one man in Los Angeles thinks he has the answer.
They say that the computers will all lock up, that the world as we know it will grind to a halt.
Jim Presnell has dedicated his life to solving the problems presented by Y2K.
They say that money will no longer have its value because you can't, frankly, get to your money. Then what does have value is very arbitrary. It could be seashells, could be salt.
Oh, don't even get me started on the seashell and salt people.
Well, I just don't think they work. It's my theory that Pez is the perfect solution for that.
That's right, Pez. In an uncertain post-Y2K world, Jim's convinced that dollars will be replaced by Pez dispensers as the national currency.
I can go into a gas station and say, here's a Pez dispenser. He lets me get 5 gallons of gas. This is the stuff that's really worth gold when the going gets tough.
Jim's theory begs one obvious question.
Do you think that you're an idiot?
No.
We road tested Jim's prediction at this LA pawn shop.
Could you give me a rough estimate what this would go for on the open market?
I would say about 10 cents.
10 cents. The year 2000, Y2K. The world's economy is in economic turmoil. Food and water are being rationed. Now how much would this be worth?
10 cents.
Undaunted by the naysayers, Jim's been feverishly hoarding Pez.
3,000 Pez dispensers. You must be very proud.
Well, I'm very proud of my collection. I love showing it off.
Troy Newman is also preparing for Y2K.
So I've gathered some basic food storage.
Although he has inexplicably decided to store food and water.
What would you make of a person who cracked open the head of a small creature and ate food from the gaping hole in its larynx?
Ultimately, whether or not you agree with Jim, you must give his accomplishments the respect they deserve.
Jim, you own over 3,000 Pez dispensers. You've organized the Pezathon, gathering Pez heads from all over the world. Which of the following best describes you? Doofus or dorkwad?
I think that's probably a little insensitive. I'd prefer eccentric.
Dweebwad. Dorky eccentric? Dweeby nutcase? Kooky dweeby? Dweeby dorkhead?
I think I've had enough.